All right, we're going to get started in just a second. We're going to go over some important topics related to NeroVerse and the upcoming releases. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to raise your hand towards the end of the event, or if you don't feel comfortable talking, you can leave your questions in the GamePower uh, chat channel. So, all right, Parker, let me know when you're all set to go.
And we are good to go right now.
Awesome. Michael, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. I know it's kind of last minute. We announced it about a week and a half ago that we were going to have this town hall. But it's important that we have it because today, if you check your emails, you now have the data key that is going to give you access to not only the Game Power launcher, which is our Steam slash Epic Games game distribution platform. So you'll be able to download games, you'll be able to experience other projects all from one single application, and that's going to be the Game Power launcher. So that key that you received is going to give you access to that, but also the Interloper game. And we want to talk about Interloper today. We also want to talk about the Nerobot command game that's coming, Neurospaces, most of all. That's really a big one. And also Neuropets and how all of that fits into NeroVerse and how Interloper fits into all of these different things because we've been releasing slowly in segments and in different parts, but all of those things are going to come together. And the purpose that Interloper serves is to give the narration around all of these components and how they're all going to fit into the universe. So let's get started with the beta key. Again, check your emails. If you have any issues, if you didn't get the email or if you don't see it, make sure you check your spam folder. Add us to your contacts just in case we send anything else out. We don't want to getting stuck in spam. So that key, keep it close. You can't use it just yet, but save that key because it's going to be one-time use. Don't share it with anyone. It's going to give you the beta access. Uh, the download for the game launcher, we're going to release in a slow rollout because we want to make sure everyone's computer can install it, that there's no issues running on whatever system, whether it's Windows 7 or Windows 11 that just came out. Also on Mac OS, it'll be released. Uh, Also, the application is open source, so we're going to be providing the GitHub link so that you can see all the code that's being developed for the launcher. We want to be as transparent as possible, and I know a lot of people coming from the crypto side, you're mostly accustomed to web applications, which is great. But now that we're moving into gaming and more serious gaming, uh, you're going to need a computer that can run games and on the desktop. So that's why the Game Power Launcher will even exist to allow games like Star Atlas and Network and some others that are coming out in the future to allow those games to be able to be discovered in a single place. So we definitely need the desktop in order to have all of that running. I'm sorry, Star Atlas and Network, for example, all run their games on a PC. Their actual games, the VR versions of their games, are the desktop versions of their game. But just like those projects, we will have a web version of a lot of our experiences. For example, the Neurobot command game, we're actually going to have that as a web component. So you can use that on mobile, your web browser on mobile, or your desktop web browser. So don't worry about that. If you have eggs that you've received during the airdrop and you want to incubate those eggs and enhance those eggs, we'll let you do that on the web. And we'll go into more in detail on that later. But back to Interloper. Interloper is, again, the prologue for NeroVerse, and it's going to tell a story. It's very narrative driven. you are the interloper. And if you don't know what that word means, it's basically someone that's involved in a situation where they don't belong. They're thrown into a situation, and that's going to be a big theme around the interloper game and how it's going to play out. You can kind of think of it as a hacker simulation game, but and slash mystery game, and I'll explain more on that later. But you actually are going to play as the interloper. You're going to discover what happened to Metasoft, why data was missing. You're going to actually interact with other characters and factions. And if you check your email today, we actually gave a preview of the three factions. You've already come into contact with one, which was the Darksiders. They sent you the email. There's also the Syndicate and then the Neuromancers. So we're going to allow you to join factions in the NeroVerse, not only in the interloper game, but in the broader NeroVerse universe. So these three factions will play a major part. You're going to learn their backstory. You're going to be doing missions for each of the factions in the interloper game. So it's going to kind of give you an introduction on how they work. They're all different. They all have their pros and cons. But as you form guilds within the Neuroverse, as you work with other players, you'll want to join certain factions. So we're really excited about getting that up and going. We're going to have a website specifically for factions and the information around factions going up later next week. That way you'll get to learn more about the backstory for each faction. You'll see some images on the factions and how they're going to work in the Neuroverse. But again, the Neuroverse as a whole will still have these factions as a part of them. So gameplay wise, as I mentioned, Interloper will be a mystery slash hacker simulation game. So your whole computer is gonna turn into an operating system. The game is an operating system, and you'll receive text messages in the game. You'll receive video messages, emails. You'll be able to browse websites, all a part of the Neuroverse world. As you may have seen in our trailer, the game NeroVerse and the story takes place in the distant future. Well, not too distant, about 70 years into the future. And so technology has changed, technology has evolved, and the internet has evolved. And in the story, the internet now connects directly to our consciousness, our minds. Metasoft created the neural net. And as you saw in the trailer, the neural net went down and there's some issues going on. So you're going to be discovering what's happening, why it's happening, and you'll discover how the NeroVerse was born from the neural net. So we're really excited about getting the story out. We're going to have more details coming up soon on some of the characters. We have artwork being created for the characters that you'll meet. And we're really excited about that. Also, for finishing the game, we're going to be awarding all of our beta users with a special NeroVerse NeuroSpaces NFT. So just as a thank you for playing the game and for supporting us, and not only that, but giving us feedback. That's what we want the most. Honest feedback, what you like, what you didn't like, what worked and what didn't work for you. Currently, we have about 1,300 users that signed up for the beta and that have keys. So I see someone just asked the question, how many will be invited to play the beta? And I'm going to go through the questions later, but that one just stuck out. Yeah, so we have about 1,300 users. We actually weren't expecting that many. We just wanted about 400, 500 users, but we actually got more than we wanted. But we didn't put a limit on it. We didn't put a cap. So everyone's invited that got the code. And we're going to give away a few more codes today. However, as you go through the beta, it's a 3-part game. So part 1, or act 1, will be released first. Once you get to act 3, we're going to allow all of the beta users to start sending invites using your invite code that you'll receive to other players, and you'll be gaining points and achievements for doing that. And we'll get into that a little later. But one thing that we wanted to say about the GamePower launcher and how it works with Interloper and other games is that we're going to have missions and collectibles that you receive for playing all of these games. So, for example, if you're playing Interloper, you'll start to slowly gain collectibles. You'll have missions and quests that are all tracked within the GamePower launcher. If, let's say, Star Atlas is added to the GamePower launcher, they'll have collectibles and missions and cross missions between the games that you'll be able to play to earn rewards. So when we say play to earn, we're not always talking about, hey, you'll get tokens or, currency to spend, but you'll actually receive collectibles. And what you do with those collectibles uh, is the value that you put on it, whether you want to sell it, whether you want to keep it, grow your collection. Those are the things we want to do when it comes to play to earn. So we kind of just want to build out an ecosystem around all of these games to allow you to have your own play to earn experience. Um, but yeah, so that's Game Power Launcher and Interloper. Again, we have the Darksiders factions. I'm gonna go back to factions. Darksiders, which are your kind of thick-headed. They're very, how can I put it? They take extreme measures to get their point across, whether it's bombing a corporation or fighting with weaponry. They're the ones that are out there fighting on the forefront. Then you have the Neuromancers, which you'll learn they are the the programmers or the hackers of this world. They actually created the NeroVerse and helped create the NeroVerse, which is why they're called the Neuromancers. You can kind of think of these in an RPG as the mages or the magic users in a game. They create worlds. So when you go into the Neuroverse and when you go into these VR worlds or virtual worlds, they're created by the Neuromancers. This is their hideaway from the real world. So in some of these worlds that you'll go into, they may be kings or they may be gods. Neuromancers are because they've created these worlds on top of the neural net. Again, the Darksiders are kind of against the neural net. They feel it's destroying the earth. It's kind of taking people out of reality. So they want to bring the neural net down in some ways. And then finally, you have the Syndicate. The Syndicate is a group of companies, organizations, and great thinkers that have feel the neural net and the network uh, can play a big part for bringing humanity forward and enhancing our lives. So you have all of these different, you know, opposing sides. You have the dark siders that are against the neural net and what it's doing. You have the syndicate that thinks it's a great idea and can enhance humanity. And then you have the neuromancers, which kind of don't really take any side. They just want to live. They just want to create. So as you go and you pick your factions, you'll be able to do missions for these factions and choose which one you fit into. And we won't tie you into anything. So if you choose one, you'll still be able to do missions for others. You'll still be able to gain reputation with others. So that's something that we really want to put as part of the gameplay. How the beta will work in the timeline. We mentioned earlier that we wanted to release the launcher today. As I mentioned, we want to do that as a slow rollout so we can do more beta testing. We don't want to release something that's broken. We don't want to release something that's half baked. So we're going to start contacting a lot of you. Some of you have already told us your system specs, and we kind of want to get a large sample of different systems that we can run the launcher on. So if you're interested, let us know in the chat. We'll get you set up to try out the launcher and give us some feedback on how it runs on your system. If you're having issues, memory issues, whatever, and that way we can improve it over the next few weeks. But also, not only the game launcher, but the Interloper game itself. We want to launch it at the end of the month, but we want to make sure it is done properly. So just keep an eye out on the actual beta release date, and you'll be able to download it instantly. You already have your code, so you're good to go. You won't need anything else but the code to get started. So that's related to the dates. They're still undecided specifically, but we're going to let you know it's close, it's around the corner, but we don't want to have any hard dates set just yet, as it's a moving target. And by the way, to back up, for the people that attended the AMA last time, we gave you all 24 hours to sign up for the beta, and we were going to award you with an NFT. That's going to be a furniture item for Neurospaces. So we have added you to an email list. So you'll receive an email within the next 2 weeks that'll have another code for you to redeem your NFT. So look out for that. I just wanted to give you a reminder that that's coming also. So thank you for joining us for the AMA for that. What else do we want to talk about? I think that's it for Interloper. We're going to go into more details with the website once we update the website, but let's talk about Neurospaces, the Neurobot command game, and NeuroPets, because a lot of you that joined us early on as early adopters, that's what you were here for. That's what you knew about. The Interloper and the prologue came a lot later, even though it was planned for us. So let's talk about, let's go back to NeuroPets. That was the first thing, and how that fits into all of this. So the NeuroPets are a part of a world within the NeuroVerse. And as I told you, the Neuromancers created the NeuroVerse, and they helped create the NeuroVerse. So when you're playing with your NeuroPet in the future, your player, your character is in the NeuroVerse. You can think of it as Sword Art Online or The Matrix if you've worked with any of those or seen any of those shows and movies. Your character is in the NeuroVerse. You're in virtual reality. So your NeuroPet is a virtual pet in this world. And we're going to allow you to train, breed, battle with these pets. But not only that, you'll be able to take them to various other worlds within the NeuroVerse. So right now, we're going to start our first world that we're going to build is an RPG related world. So swords, armor, knights, medieval, dragons. That'll be our first world built within the NeuroVerse, and the NeuroPets will play a big part in that. But also, the NeuroPets can be taken out of the NeuroVerse and into your apartments. So you'll be able to have them either as a trophy, whether they're sitting on a dresser, or as a large pet within your apartment. So not only will you have these collectibles to use in your space, but you'll be able to choose how you want to use them. They could be a painting on the wall if you just want an image of your dragon because you don't want a dragon running around your apartment. We're going to give you the option to do all of those things with the NFTs that you collect. But that also brings us to the Neurobots. The Neurobots in this world are AI companions. You can think of them, as I mentioned before, as ghosts in Destiny or Ratchet and Clank, the robot that follows them around. Neurobots will serve that same purpose. So they will go between worlds with you. You'll be able to use them to gather materials. You'll be able to use them to guide you to different worlds and kind of give you guides on how to use certain features within the NeuroVerse. And that's where the Neurobot command game comes in. This will allow you to gather resources within the NeuroVerse, whether it's components to upgrade your Neurobot, whether it's enhancing your egg. So the Neurobot command game, as you can tell, because of that, will come before the NeuroPets hatching event. And we want to make sure that the Neurobot command game comes out around the same time as Neurospaces. And to jump into Neurospaces, we already know what that is. That's literally your apartment, your space within the NeuroVerse. Decorate, change, adjust, invite your friends. The Neurobot command game and Neurospaces will run both on the web and on desktop. So if you have a link to your Neurospace, you'll be able to send it to people on Twitter or Facebook or wherever, and they'll be able to jump right in through the browser to see your apartment and to see your NFT collection. So those are the things that'll kind of work together, Neurobots and Neurospaces, and they'll be released around the same time. So yeah, that's Neurospaces, Neurobots, and NeuroPets. We're going to continue working on those because that's what a lot of our early adopters really helped us with when we came to launching our initial launch. And we really appreciate your support. It's been a big help. But we have to release Interloper before that because it explains everything that we're doing. It's a major part in the story, and we're really set on creating a narrative-driven metaverse That's so important to us. We don't want just a metaverse. We don't want just what everyone else is doing. We want you to be in an experience where you can role play, where you can, just be yourself if you want to, but still have this experience built around it. So that's why we're going for this narrative-driven story. I'm going to answer a few questions because I see some are coming in right now. Let's see. Is it an RPG style game? So yeah, this was asked by Lord Cubbo. I may have pronounced that wrong, but yeah. So we're starting out with an RPG style game. Interloper is, and it's cyberpunk themed. So it's more close to the real world in that sense. You are the interloper. You're a hacker, not technically meant to be a hacker, but you turn into a hacker by some of the actions that you take. You're infiltrating Metasoft, and some of the characters that you're going to meet are all part of the three factions, and they're going to give you missions on, teaching you how to get into the Metasoft servers, how to uncover some data. If you look at your email, there's a female in the image, which serves a important purpose. That's someone that you're actually trying to find, but we'll give you more details on that later. But it's a mystery slash hacker simulator, and it's really really entertaining. The story, we're going to be releasing more in the next week or so, so you can kind of get a grasp of what the story is about. But yeah, overall, it's an RPG style game. You are role playing as this character, but it's you. So you're not giving a certain look. You're not given a certain gender. You're really role playing yourself in this game. Can we represent all the factions in one character, or is it limited to one or two factions? So again, you'll be able to choose a faction within the NeroVerse, but it won't close off any content to you as you play the game. You'll be able to do missions for all the factions, and you'll be able to change factions over time. We're actually considering a way where there's a reputation or rapport system where maybe the choices you make or the things you do determine the faction you're a part of. That's still something that we're kind of looking over. We want to know the best way to do that, because some people, they don't want to really choose a faction. They just want to play the game and make choices, and they don't want the faction they're a part of to determine their choices. But there's some people that really may love the aesthetic of a certain faction and want to be a part of that faction, so we're going to allow that. But those are things that we're looking into. And then Cubbo asked again, so all the games will be, or hopefully be, integrated with each other. That's the hope. Again, we're using Star Atlas and Network as an example because we've spoken to those teams before and we like what they're doing. But yeah, for example, Star Atlas, we want to be able to have cross-game missions or quests where, you're looking for something in Interloper or you're looking for something in Network, and that completes a quest in Star Atlas. We want the games to kind of just create this singular world, this singular universe, I should say. And right now, if you've played any of blockchain games, they're very disjointed. When you're playing Sandbox, is totally different from Decentraland, totally different from Star Atlas. And that's kind of what's throwing a lot of people off. When you play on your PlayStation or Steam, you kind of have this connection going on with not only your friends, but the games as well. You receive these cards or these card packs when you complete certain aspects of games on Steam. We want to do that same thing for blockchain games. Allow people to go to one place, have their friends list, whether it's a Steam friends list, Epic Games, or GamePower friends list, all in one place. So you can see what your friends are playing, you can discover new games, and those games work together. Let's see. Okay, couple. All right. Will I be able to change factions instantly just by logging into another wallet? So yeah, that's something that I think is an important topic to discuss. And maybe I'm and Michael, you can stop me if I'm going too far with this, but that kind of involves our token moving forward in the future. Um, I won't go too deep into it because things are going to change and we can't say too much about the token yet. But we want people to not have to worry about a wallet. We don't want them to worry about, an extension or anything related to crypto. We want them to sign up and just play the game and everything happens in the background. However, we do believe there should be an advanced toggle where if you are comfortable with crypto and wallets, you can set up your account that way. But our token, for example, um, when someone buys an NFT in a GamePower game or NeroVerse and they use fiat, in the future, we don't want them to have to think about the fact that it's a token. So if they spend $20 on a sword in a game, $20 of our token would be uh, sent to a vault and stored. So we kind of want the token and the crypto users and the non-crypto users to be working together without even knowing they're working together. So uh, if you're using an iPhone and you're on an app store and you're buying these assets on your phone, again, Apple doesn't allow crypto related NFT marketplaces. But if we, you know, allow people to buy with the fiat, but still affect the token in the background, it still allows us the token to have value. So those are little things that we're looking into. We can't decide exactly yet or make a decision, a solid decision just yet because things have changed. There's legal roadblocks that we have to make sure that we, follow. So that's a topic that we're going to continue to discuss over the next few weeks. But yeah, we want to allow people to use a wallet if they want or not. We don't want people to care about it. Uh, so, like a champ said, so I'll have to clean the cookies as well to switch wallets. Okay, not a big deal. Uh, so obviously, like a champ is determined to use a wallet, and that's fine. Yeah, but you will be able to have multiple accounts if you have a different wallet. Your progress won't, uh, be shared across those different accounts. But yeah, we want to create a decentralized game where all the game cares about is your wallet. The player doesn't have to care about the wallet, but the game will. So whether that's a custodial wallet or not, it's up to the player. Um, Let me see if I missed any questions before I go forward. Uh, da-da-da-da. Okay, no, I think we got all the questions. Um, so yeah, again, just to kind of wrap things up, if anyone has any questions, please. All right, Parker. If anyone has any questions, uh, feel free to neurospaces. Let's talk about neurospaces again. Uh, one last time. Neurospaces are coming out within the next month or two. We really want that to be polished. We want all of you guys to, especially if you're an early adopter, you're going to get your. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, early adopter. If you own an OG Dragon, you have to have the OG Dragon. You're going to be given the chance to claim your key for each dragon that you own. Um, and what we're going to do with that is allow you to keep the key if you like, or put it on the NeroVerse marketplace. We're going to be really pumping out marketing on the NeroSpaces. We actually have a marketing firm currently building out our campaign for NeroSpaces because that's the first big thing that we're going to pump out. We're not doing that with Interloper. That's more of a community kind of internal thing that we're doing. But NeroSpaces is going to be our big campaign. We're putting out ads, the works. So as we move forward, the keys will be the first thing that the general public sees. So early adopters, OG Dragon holders, you pretty much, you know, you hold the keys, literally. Uh, and yeah, again, every OG Dragon that you own, you'll get a key for. And what we're thinking about doing with the multiple keys, if you say own 3 keys or 2 keys, putting those keys together to create a larger apartment. You can kind of think of it as Lego blocks. So you'll have doors in your apartment. Normally, uh, if let's say you own one key, that door won't be on that wall. But if you have two keys, there'll be a door on the wall which opens into another apartment, which is the same size, but they're just connected. So you're just putting rooms together like a Lego block. That's one way we're considering doing it, or you can use it as separate apartments, give it to your friend, whatever. Um, those are some of the things we're looking at. Um, but since we're already, the last thing I'll talk about um, before I answer the last few questions is the OG Dragon loyalty program. Uh, that'll be a points related system. I've spoken about this before, but just to clarify, it is a points related system. The longer you hold your OG Dragon, you'll receive points which you can trade in for other collectibles or in game assets. So that's something that we want to launch before we launch uh, the Dragon Arena. Um, yeah. So we're going to go into more details on that later. And we're going to kind of continue to have more of these conversations and these events because we want you guys to really stay up to date on what we're doing. Things are about to start rolling really quickly now that we have a marketing firm. We have a development team that we're hiring because right now I'm the only developer. Michael is over, operations, and then we have Parker, which is handling community related events and items. So all of our social media is being handled by Parker. Michael's doing everything else legal, and I'm doing all development. And I can't do it by myself. So we're adding a development team, and we'll talk about the partnership later once all of the legal stuff is signed, and that way you guys know that there's a larger team behind all of this that's working, and not just us three. So that's something else to look forward to in the next few weeks. And what else? Any marketing plans? Oh, well, there you go. I just answered that question about the marketing plans. Yeah. So we have
Let me,
and-
if it's
and-
okay, Mike, I just want to go
mhm,
back and address this really quick so I don't forget.
mhm.
Lord Cubbo asked, so we need an OG Dragon for a data key. No, not for the data key. The data key is the beta access for the interloper. The Nero Spaces keys, the ones that we will be sending an upgraded key for a better apartment uh, to people who hold the OG Dragons. So that's to differentiate the difference.
Yep, yep. And it's unfortunate that they both have the word key involved. That was we after we named it the the data key, which it is literally a beta key, but we called it data key to fit the theme of the game. We realized, man, we just announced another key also. This is going to be confusing. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, the data key and the OG Dragon apartment key are two different things. That's literally a key, like a hotel key or a door key. The data key is just a code that you use as a beta access. So yeah, that was an unfortunate naming. Um, yeah, so the dragon, if you own a dragon, you will get a larger space, larger balcony. You'll be able to see the city. And again, that's just for the cyberpunk version of the space. We're going to allow you to switch and change the style of your space as we introduce more. For example, we said that we're creating a RPG world, so that your space may be in a castle, if you want to switch it up, and you'll be able to uh, have that design. So yeah, we're starting with the cyberpunk looking look and feel, and we'll add more look and feels and environments later on. Dark Spark asked, what's the limit on how huge an apartment can be and the maximum keys? So what you're getting is a personal Nero space. This is like a regular apartment size. You could think of it. You're going to get the medium size space. Then there's another space above that called the penthouse, which is multiple floors. But then there's a even larger space, and that's mostly for communities, guilds, and partners and businesses. So this is where you'll see like you can kind of think of it like expo floors or convention floors. They'll have their own marketing. They can design it to look and feel like their business. So those are the bigger spaces that we're going to have. But anyone can get those spaces. They'll just be very high end spaces, and mostly groups and corporations are going to buy into those. But you guys are going to be getting, if you have the OG Dragon, the personal space. that you can decorate. The command game would start with the release of the launcher. No, so the command game will piggyback off of Interloper. Again, Interloper will give you all of the story elements, um, and kind of tie in why there are even neurobots. Why are there dragons? So the Interloper will come first, which will be on the launcher, and then followed by that, Neurospaces and the Neurobot command game. Um, I know it's 2:35, so I don't want to stay. I don't want to keep you guys too long. But Darkspark asks, "What if I have 10 keys? I can have an apartment which is as big as 10 apartments." Yes, you'll be able to use them to connect multiple rooms, or you can have 10 different apartments. So that's you can think of it like a portal. Each door is a portal to a different, another apartment, but they'll be connected. Um, so yeah, that's one way we'll do that. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, we'll answer them outside of the event. But thank you guys so much for joining us again. If you didn't get a data key and you listened in and tuned in to get a data key, what we're going to do, uh, check the Game Power chat channel. You're going to open a support ticket. You're going to send us your email, and we'll add you to the data key email list. And you'll be receiving your data key later today. Um, and if you already received the data key, don't try to get a second one. It won't matter. So it's not an NFT. It's fine. It's just a beta code. But yeah, if you didn't get one, you'll open a support ticket and include your email, and we'll add you to the data key to be in the beta. Um, what if I have 2 data keys? Can I give one to a friend? Sure, why not? But here's the thing. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to have an invite system that's actually going to reward you for inviting people to the game. So you may want to just hold off. If you know you're going to have a friend that can join, you may want to hold off instead of getting that second key now. Just invite them later. So, yeah, we're going to answer more questions later. This is recorded and we're going to put it on YouTube for you to watch later if you missed something. But thank you guys so much. We really appreciate your support. You're the best, and we're going to keep working hard. Things are about to really pop off in the next few weeks as we get the marketing ramped up. Um, Remember, we've built all of this, just the three of us, um, brick by brick. And not a lot of projects can say that. A lot of projects have a lot of money, have a token, and I don't think they've done as much as we've done, just with the three of us. So once we start building that team and once we start getting more people involved, it's really going to take off, and we're going to definitely remember you guys for being here first. So thank you so much. Michael, anything you want to add?
So it looks like we have a question in questions. I think, or maybe it was Game Power. Where was it? So Darkspark asked if I have 10 keys, can I have
Yeah,
an
I
apartment?
answered that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I answered Dark Spark because he's going to beat us up if we don't. Um, yeah, but any other questions we'll answer off the town hall recording. Because I know some are still pouring in. Um, but yeah, Parker, anything you want to add?
No, I'm good. I'm all good. I got all the
Well,
questions were answered.
But
Yeah,
Lord, let's grab Lord. I know we're about to wrap it up here, but Lord Kobo asks, "What can we do to help the project? How can we support you all in the project?" And I'll answer that. I'll just say that the best things that you could do for us right now is, interact, engage with us on social media, visit us in Discord, check your announcements. The
subscribe to
marketplace is
YouTube.
running, so if you uh, don't have a particular NFT and you'd like to have it for what we're going to have them for, or for the games or whatever, please feel free to partake in that. We will have more NFTs launching in the near future. So also stay tuned for updates for the additional NFTs that will be launching.
Yes,
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 all,
and
all
please,
engagement. All
please,
engagement's good.
yes, engagement is 100% the most important thing right now. Please subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't. The link is in the YouTube channel. that helps us a lot. Spreading the word, that helps. Money can come later, but spreading the word is what helps us the most. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. We'll have another town hall in the future. We want to keep talking to you guys and letting you know what's happening. So, have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys soon with dates on the launcher and also the date on the interloper release for the beta. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks for coming out, guys.